Hello, welcome to coverage of custom standard casual matches. I'm Caillou, and today we're going to be spectating a game between LukewarmPasta and Philippe. So LukewarmPasta has been talking about playing white-red arm. So arm is a mechanic which essentially says it'll basically be like a trigger thing, like when this enters the battlefield at the beginning of your upkeep, etc., etc., and at that time you arm. So arm is create um, an equipment which gives +1/+1, has an equip cost of 2, and then the arm ability attaches it to a creature you control. So basically, arm decks are aggressively oriented decks which have some late game application because you can like grow your creatures over time. And then eventually there are some like haymakers like Havel the Rock, which is a 3/3 for 1 white, who makes the equipment cost of all of your stuff 0, and I believe he gets +1/+1 for each equipment you control, not necessarily equipment that's attached to him. So he grows very, very quickly with arm cards. Anyway, so we have LukewarmPasta cracking a fetch land turn 1 for Prayer Hall. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the table, Philippe is playing a blue-green land. Interesting. So Philippe said he just brewed this deck up, so I'm not sure what it is. I'll be excited to see. Well, turn 2, LukewarmPasta is playing Hunter Seeker. So this is like a very strong aggressive card. It's not really played in our like mono-red aggro decks because in those decks having haste is super important because of a mechanic called Prestige, which triggers when you attack with 2 or more other creatures. But Hunter Seeker is just very strong. So when it has Menace, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it arms itself. So it constantly grows over the course of the game. Meanwhile, Philippe just plays a Sun Petal Groove and passes. Interesting. So is this like Bant Control, Bant Talia, Bant Clean Slate? There are lots of potential options here. But one thing Philippe could have done there is if Philippe had Divert Aggression, could have bounced the Hunter Seeker there to buy some time. But instead, LukewarmPasta is going to swing in for 2 and grow the Hunter Seeker. Unfortunately, has another tapped land, so it won't be able to drop a 3-drop this turn, but is able to play Currency. So Currency is a really cool card. It's a discovery, which essentially think of it as a saga, which at the 3rd mode, it becomes a static effect rather than sacrificing itself. So it creates treasure tokens, which allow you to ramp, but I think the most important application in this deck is a static effect, which lets you pay 2, sacrifice an artifact, which the arm equipment are artifacts, and draw a card. So traditionally, aggressive decks, one thing they struggle with is retaining card advantage, and this is one way to get that card advantage. So Dewdrop Rainforest, these are one of our, I don't know what you call these types of lands, but essentially check if you have the appropriate land type, and it adds mana. These are from a set called Janata. They work very well with our suite of dual lands from Rakoa and Araloo. And wow, the 3rd Prayer Hall. These are some really like unfortunate draws for Lukewarm because you want the Prayer Halls for fixing, sure, but then like you're an aggressive deck. You kind of don't want to be playing tap lands again and again. So Philippe this time playing Wander the Unknown on LukewarmPasta's attack. So Wander the Unknown is, I think, inarguably the best removal spell in the format right now. It's effectively a Path to Exile, which costs 1 more. So Pasta will trade the Hunter Seeker for a simple mountain. Main 2 playing Havel the Rock. And this is basically the nut of the deck. So next turn can equip the weapon, and Havel attacks as a 5/5 because it's +1/+1 from the weapon and +1/+1 from his own ability. And then even if Pasta doesn't have gas in hand, can start sacrificing the treasures next turn to draw cards with the currency. Ooh, meanwhile, Philippe tapping out for Lose of the Ghost Peak. So Lose is a really strong planeswalker, and I think it's going to use Lose's plus, which turns Havel into a land for all of LukewarmPasta's next turn. So it's a quote-unquote removal ability, but the downside is it ramps them. Of course, if your opponent only has one Voltron threat, as Lukewarm does right now, it's exceedingly effective. So Pasta's going to be tapping 3 for Liberated Armory. So this is another key engine for the Arm deck. It basically just gives all of your creatures ETB Arm. And Pasta's going to play a Hunter Seeker. It comes in armed due to Liberated Armory, so it comes in as a 3/2, so it's a 3/2 menace. So now Philippe is kind of in a tough spot because next turn, if Philippe targets Havel again, Lukewarm can just equip the other rifle and kill Lose. Actually, no, because Lose +1. So Lukewarm will need a way to +1 Hunter Seeker to be able to kill Lose next turn. Never mind. But Havel definitely will be able to kill Lose next turn. So Philippe is basically forced to landify Havel again. Unless, of course, Philippe does have 5 mana, so could just wipe here if Philippe has Final Verdict. The Wander the Unknown plus Lose makes me think that this is Bant Clean Slate, or at least some form of Bant control. Oh no, is tapping 5 for Prognostication. So Prognostication is a really interesting card. So you skip your draw step, but you can basically draw a card of the chosen type that you want at the beginning of each of your turns. I've only really seen this used in turns decks, where you use Prognostication to keep searching for extra turn spells. Because the extra turn spells are the only sorceries in your deck. So you just name sorcery, keep grabbing extra turn spells. Philippe does have a Planeswalker, so you just which has a very relevant alt. And destroys the wow. So Pasta sacks a bunch. Sacks, I think, both. Did he sack both of the treasures? Yeah, sack both of the treasures to pay for sacking the weapon. But I think that might have been a mistake because you have to kill Lose here. And the only way that was going to happen is if Pasta has because what Pasta could have done if Pasta hadn't sacked the weapon last turn is Pasta would have had enough mana to pay 2, equip the weapon to Hunter Seeker, pay 2 with the treasures, equip the other weapon to Hunter Seeker, kill Lose. And that's hella important because I guess Aerial Gunner does have haste, so attacking with both will be able to kill Lose here. But yeah. Okay, so if Aerial Gunner didn't have haste, that would be the line. But since it does, it comes in with one weapon because of its own ability, another weapon because of the Liberated Armory. But no, is not killing Lose. Oh, that's definitely a mistake. Because next turn, Philippe just names sorcery, and then can keep plussing Lose until he can alter. And then the alt basically means that he creates a 6/6 trample each turn. So depending on how many extra turn spells Philippe has in his deck, Philippe can just kind of go off. Because I know there's Eoncraft, and so there's Eoncraft and Seize Tomorrow at below 5 mana. And can Lose's ability can kind of ramp. So yeah, we see Mystic Rebuttal, another controlling card, more Wander the Unknowns, lands, Prognostication. Where's the sorceries? I wonder what okay, so there, Eoncraft. So, and Eoncraft, once you get to depending on what cards Philippe has in hand, if Philippe has enough lands, if Philippe has a bunch of lands in hand, can just keep playing okay, actually, once Philippe hits another land, there's a 6 mana extra turn spell. So Philippe has at least 16 will have up to 16 possible hits. And it's turning Prognostication into a land. Interesting. Oh, because it's until your next turn. Oh, but it's going to cast okay, so it's going to cast Bounty, cast Eoncraft, and then Prognostication comes back and you can catch another extra turn spell. And yeah, since This is six differently named lands. Bounty of the Gardens creates a 6/6 plant token. Can't get over the Havel just yet, but I think the plan is starting on this turn, Philippe can just or Philippe actually only needs to plus the Havel. Oh no, because until your next turn. Never mind. So Philippe can just keep plussing down the Havel and then attack with the plant. And that'll only take 4 extra turn spells to be able to kill Pasta right here. This is really strong. Yep, so grabs a Seize Tomorrow with the Prognostication. So now +1 Lose, turn Havel into a vegetable essentially, and then swing in with the actual vegetable plant here for 6. Yep. +1's Lose on the Havel. So now Pasta has no blockers, just has to eat the 6 here. Yeah, this is why Pasta should have just killed the Lose last turn. Oh? Does Pasta have a Wander the Unknown? Perish's Command. Oh, this is really cool. So you can't see the mechanic, but Tithe basically means you can tap 3 artifacts and or creatures for an extra effect. So Pasta tapped 3 of the weapons because, the equipment don't tap when the creature attacks. So tapped 3 weapons to exile the plant token. So bought himself some time, but Philippe can just keep playing extra turn spells until Lose can ult, and then just attack with the token that Lose's ult creates. So it still doesn't look good. Ooh, so yeah, Darkroot Tracker is a way to grab back Mystic Rebuttals and some of the other interaction. But actually, this whole thing hinges on how many extra turn spells Philippe has in his deck, and it doesn't seem that he has as many as I thought he did. Because Philippe needs enough extra turn spells to so this turn needs 1 more extra turn spell, or actually so needs 1 this turn. Lose ticks up to 5. Next turn Lose ticks up to 6. The turn after that, Lose can ult, and then you need 4 extra turns. So Philippe needs 6 more extra turn spells in his deck to be able to kill. Oh yeah, no, because you need to keep Lose around to be able to tap down the Havel. So Philippe needs at least 7 more extra turn spells in his deck. So what did Philippe grab? I'm pretty sure it's an extra turn spell. Okay, Eoncraft. Also, another interesting thing about this deck, I guess, is that it can't run wipes. Because I mentioned a Final Verdict earlier, but all of the wipes in the format right now are sorceries. So, if Philippe would have probably hit them off of Prognostication by now. Oh, what happened? Why did it go to Lukewarm Pasta's turn? Oh, so Philippe is just speeding up the Eoncraft process right here. So I guess Philippe only has 5 extra turn spells in his deck, which isn't quite enough to actually go off here. He can get Lose to 6, ult Lose, yep, and then it gets an Echo of Lose, but only gets 1 this turn. And next turn, Hunter Seeker has Menace, so it dodges the 1 Echo. Aerial Gunner has Flying, so it dodges the Echo. Havel doesn't dodge the Echo, but is a 7/7, so can attack and will not trade with the Echo if it attacks. So Pasta is getting in at least 7 damage next turn. And that puts Philippe on a 2-turn clock. I guess Philippe can, with Prognostication, start grabbing, I guess, what did you name with Instant? Why would you name Instant? Because some of them are counterspells, but you really want to hit Wander. And I guess you would want to hit another Walker at this point. Oh wow, okay, has 1 more Eoncraft in hand. So we'll be able to get 2 Echoes of Lose before Pasta can untap. And that makes it a lot harder for Pasta, because then the Echoes can double block Havel, Hunter Seeker can get blocked because Menace no longer matters. Aerial Gunner is the only one that can get through. So that puts Philippe in a much better position. Philippe naming land off of the prognostication. Interesting. I guess it looks like the only, yeah, maybe he should have named creature, because the only creature in his deck is Dark Root Tracker, and that would let him get back Bounty. Or Walker for Lose. Like, I don't know, I feel like naming land just doesn't make sense here. But maybe Philippe has something good in his hand. I'm not sure. So if Pasta has another removal spell for one of these warriors, then Pasta is in a much better position. But otherwise, I think this starts becoming a runaway in Philippe's favor. And tapping 3 for a scrap market here does not feel super great. Like, scrap market is a good card, but I think Philippe having a quote-unquote endless supply of, or not even quote-unquote, just endless supply of 6/6 trample creatures kind of is a problem. Also, for some reason, Rooftop Sniper's image is not showing up, but it's a 2/1 for 1 that I think has double strike as long as it's equipped, which, you know, with Liberated Armory attaching a weapon to it, it is equipped. And then Pasta's gonna pay 1 life to arm the Aerial Gunner, turning into a 4/4. So I guess the plan here is probably keep like Rooftop Sniper and some of these stuff as like chump blockers, and then yeah, just wait. Oh, because of Havel, equip costs have 0. I thought it was just to equip to Havel it's 0, but no, I guess so. I guess the plan Pasta has now is just pump the heck out of this Aerial Gunner, and then just try to kill Philippe before the Spirit Warriors can kill Pasta. Because now Aerial Gunner swings for 7 in the air. That forces if Pasta chooses to attack with Havel here, then Philippe will be forced to block one of them, and then yeah, that just puts Philippe in a bad position. Ooh, but tapping 4 for Tigal, really good. So Tigal probably bring back Wander the Unknown, exile Aerial Gunner. Yeah, because Tigal is basically a mini Snapcaster. For 4 mana, you get a Flash Prowess Bear, which allows you to cast instant or sorcery with, or sorry, I think it's, yeah, instant or sorcery with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So, flashbacks, the Wander the Unknown, and I think that kind of, like, Lukewarm's only hope there was really just Aerial Gunner go over Philippe. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Okay, so it's going to, actually, this actually works, because the first strike on Rooftop Sniper means that LukewarmPasta can equip all of the weapons to it, and then oh wait, why is Lukewarm only equipping? Oh, I guess 4 makes it a 6 because it has 2 base power. I forgot about that. So now because of the first strike, it doesn't trade with the Spirit Warriors. It just outright kills them. Havel doesn't trade with the Spirit Warriors. He outright kills them. So Philippe's attacking options are limited, and Lukewarm can start digging for more like aggressive cards. For example, if Lukewarm ever hits like or like can start using currency to dig for another Aerial Gunner, because once Lukewarm hits another Aerial Gunner, can just like destroy Philippe in the air, because I don't think Philippe has anything with flying. So Philippe is going to name instant, and wow, hits another Wander the Unknown. That's incredibly lucky. He could have hit one of his counter spells instead. But yeah, now can exile either Havel or Rooftop Sniper, and then attack with both of the Spirit Warriors, and then get another Spirit Warrior on end. Ooh, okay, so Philippe casts Lose, -2s it, which basically allows you to create a Spirit token and draw a card, and then gets another Spirit Warrior on his end step, and has keeps the Wander the Unknown up in case Lukewarm plays something. Like if Lukewarm plays another Aerial Gunner. If not, he can just use it to kill Havel or the Rooftop Sniper and start attacking next turn. So he's going to Scrap Market again. Arm the Hunter Seeker, turn into a 5/4. I wonder if like a one of a fling would be good in this deck, because I think there are a fair number of situations where you can just because you can Havel, and then basically each weapon gives him +2/+2 because you can equip them to him. You just put a bunch of uh equip like a bunch of weapons on him, play fling, and then just dome them in the face. So Philippe, oops, I missed Philippe. Wander the Unknown, the Havel, um, and Lukewarm is back to being in a really awful position here. So Philippe names creature. I think this either gets Tigal or Darkroot Tracker, which both of which can grab back another Wander the Unknown, kill the rooftop sniper, and then at that point, uh, like the Spirit Warriors have no obstruction. They can attack in for free, basically. And even if like next turn, Pasta uses Scrap Market to uh, arm the Hunter Seeker and then equip some of the weapons to Hunter Seeker to make it like be able to profitably block one of the spirits. Um, I think at that point Philippe can just name creature again, get like another Wander the Unknown, or like do a bounty, or just use Losei's +1 to turn it. Like this game is pretty over at this point. Okay, so he's gonna +1 Losei to put Rooftop Sniper out of commission, and then probably um, play another Tigal, Wander the Unknown, the Hunter Seeker, and then swing in for 18, 19 exactly. Yep. So good game. Philippe takes it in a crazy game, I think. Like, um, I think Lukewarm did misplay by not killing Losei early, but despite that, I think like can't discount like Philippe's great play in just like you know prognostication, spinning the wheel, and also like having good answers for what Lukewarm is doing. But yeah, it looks like they're not going to play further games, so good games to both players. And Philippe Saner on Bant turns takes it 1-0 over LukewarmPasta on Boros Arm. Until next time, this is Caillou signing off.